Hey guys, quick update. I got some bad news, some good news, and some great news. So last week early on, we were getting ready to start robo-texting back up. And we were applying also on the server some quick system upgrades. And something we did triggered like an old plugin started looping in the database, and it was pegging the database. We didn't know that yet. All we knew was this. Every time we went to a web page on our server, it was taking like 68 seconds to load. We didn't get it. So it's like, how are you going to robotext saying, hey, we got a great website for you? And the guy comes and it takes 6 to 8 seconds to load. Then he thinks that's strange. He hits a link in the navigation menu and it takes 6 to 8 seconds to load. And we thought, you have to be kidding. And so we had to chase this down. It was a long time chasing it down. It took all week. Because when you run a trace on our server, there's so much stuff on it that it takes 3 days to run the trace, and we had to do it twice. And then because it was really deep. And then in order to fix it, we actually had to break it and rebuild it. So not the websites. All your websites were untouched. I'm talking about the bridge between your files and your databases. These files connecting to those databases, these to those, these to those. The bridge had to be rebuilt. So we literally had to break it and rebuild it. Some of you guys noticed that. So it was like scheduled maintenance, just sudden. And so that happened between Friday night and Saturday morning. It was a pain. But so the bad news is we lost a week. The good news is we're back on top of it, and the looping process is fixed, and we got rid of the 20 gig error file that it generated. So we're back to normal. Okay, so we're back to getting our guys to doing what they should have been able to do that last week, and so we're going to be back on top of things soon. It's just lots of little pieces. Please allow us to finish juggling to get this done. Having said that, here's the great news. While waiting for that to get resolved, all those pieces to get rebuilt, one of my customers have been prying on me to come up with a way to overcome the $75 wildcard SSL. He said, look, one thing that was always cool was, your cPanels are cheap, and if we're going to run that out with SSL, we got to buy cPanels. He goes, we need the choice whether to get dedicated IP addresses, and also the $75 SSL certificates, HTTPS on all your subdomains, hard thing to explain to any client. Isn't there a way that we can make it work without having to physically include it in the price? I was like, they're the wild card SSL guys. Komodo, right, and cPanel are selling $75 certificates. They'd rather sell them. It's like, yeah, but in the old days with the old process, if we just manually created subdomains, they were HTTPS enabled. So isn't there a way we can make that work somehow? It's like, all right, give me a little bit to look into it. And that's the great news. We figured it out. We figured out how to use the SI tool, software installer, to generate subdomains in a different way. And by generating the subdomains in a different way, here's the point. On the Blitz process, you can create create your global variables, get your batch global variable sheet, fill it in, upload it, create all your pages with all of your subdomains. Now, you would normally have to pay 75 bucks to get your wildcard SSL. But here's what we figured out how to do. Grab those subdomains from that production, go into the software installer, go to this new tool we built for it, paste that in there, hit go, and let it run pretty quick, and it will generate them. Now, you might think, all right, but in the old days, if we generated subdomains, right, the server techs would get mad. You can only put like 200, 250 on a website. And then the server techs would be like, hey, you created so many nodes, it's bogging down, the needle's flipping all over the place on the disk trying to find all these files. It's too much, stop that. When I figured out this process, I went and double checked with support, and they had to agree. There's nothing the matter. You can go ahead with this new process. You can create 20,000 subdomains. It's not going to put any extra load on the server, and there's no other reason why you have a problem with it. So you can go ahead and do it. And in the act of doing it the way we're doing it, it is securing every subdomain and all the pages inside of them. So our process means you don't need to pay 75 bucks for a wildcard SSL. So for those of you who are in business doing this for yourself or others, or you're trying to set these things up for people, if you're setting up these websites because you've got websites and software installer and you're trying to create this in this way, then you can absolutely run it through there. So the software installer is $295 a year, right? That would be 4 wildcard SSLs. So if you plan to have 5 websites or more during the year, okay, and you're going to be getting the SSL cert onto these things, and I'm assuming that you're doing it with our stuff, either the HTML Blitz or T to HA, well, T to HB, T to H Blitz, or the own landing projects that we have Blitz, right? So anything you have us create for you where you need, where you're going to be able to auto generate all the pages so fast. And now you're just looking at securing them without having to pay 75 bucks. If you think you might have 5 websites during the year or more, then you'll save money getting the software installer and using that to generate the subdomains you need. It's because you won't have to pay 75 bucks for wildcard SSLs. With that in mind, we went ahead and dropped the price of the cPanel because guys were asking us, hey, we can always explain dedicated IP address later or see if the guy even needs it, but can you remove those options? And we thought, okay, we can do it. So this is the front end SSL, right? That's included anyway. And then if they get a project from us and they're doing their projects, we can take care of them. We're raising the price, we can justify that. We'll do that kind of work to help them out. It's not a problem. And besides, it's mostly automated anyway. But having said that, we're also going to change our message real soon, because install your websites in 2 minutes is cool for us. But really, when it comes to the website, the user wants the website installed in 2 minutes. It's great, and use their information. That's great. But who's going to go make sure to help them with SEO? Monthly SEO costs $500 to $1,000 to $1,500 or more per month for most companies, and they expect to pay for that when they get a website because you just need it. But not with us, because now we have, instead of monthly SEO costs, we have more like minute SEO costs. In the old days, somebody goes, I need to update these 20,000 web pages for my clients. I'll work on that next month. Now it's, I need to update 20,000 web pages for my clients. I'll go ahead and kick that out before lunch. And we'll see how much Google improves the rank over the next few days. And that is unbelievable. That means many fewer man hours to handle many, many more clients. And that's where we're at now. Okay, that's the updates for now. I'm going to get back to getting back to work so that we can get this stuff organized properly and put it out. For those of you that are thinking big, you've got dedicated LPE projects that you want to kick off, through us, get a hold of us. There's one other thing I want to say. Everybody who bought in a co-op LPE projects, we're going to upgrade those with Blitz. Okay, it's expensive, but we're going to do it. And that's because we can get ready to run those things out nationwide and control them immediately. So that's great. Everybody who has your own dedicated LPE project, we have to talk with you and see if you want to upgrade yours, because again, it's expensive. We can't just upgrade them all. Okay. The co-ops we can do, there was more money collected for co-ops, obviously, because the prices are higher. And we need the co-ops to run anyway. But for those of you who want to run dedicated, okay, get a hold of us. The incredible advantage of upgrading into the Blitz is the instant power to move forward with unlimited control. Literally, you can do anything you want. You can use us for SEO, anyone else for SEO, and again, it's like minute SEO charges, not monthly SEO charges. So you can have a guy get in and update one page, and that model just updated 2,000 similar pages in that section of the website. He can update another page, and that updates another 2,000 pages for that section of the website. Final thing, I had somebody say, what about the idea of doorway pages? What about the idea that we have too little information on these pages and the only thing that's changing is like the city? The answer is understood. So if you run into issues where your pages don't stick, they're not ranking, normally that would be a pain. You'd be paying for another month or 2 or 3 of SEO to improve upon that model. Not now, because what can we do now? We can obviously adjust our global variables, improve upon them, and create the variability we need to make those pages different in just a few strokes. But we can do it efficiently and fast, like never before, because we can do it with this Blitz method. I mean, we'll be constantly waiting to see what Google has to say instead of the other way around. All right. Well, there you go. There's your update for now. So hang in there. We've been pounding away. We don't lie around on hammocks. We just don't. And we're getting this stuff back up to speed. And pretty soon we're going to tie everything back together. And for those of you guys who have dedicated LPs, give me a call. If you're thinking about converting them to Blitz, because it gives you instant control. And for those of you who have, questions about bigger project combinations, give me a call because there's so many variations right now. There's some things that we can do. Now, in the meantime, as far as all you guys coming in co-op, yeah, it's not like we forgot you at all. No. I mean, everything that we're doing is still coming back around to the idea of how do you just make them want to buy, make them want to buy, make all the pest control guys want to buy, make all the lawyers want to buy, make all the roofers want to buy. And how do you make that efficient and sudden, and how do you keep offering them new value through this streamlined method? First, get them up on organics. For some guys, get more websites into play for them, or more areas into play, or more topics into play, but it's all simple now. And then how do you attach that to a directory? For guys who want to do that, they're thinking that way. They want to offer the services in the industry, and or maybe sell it on flippa.com to upsell it for a huge amount after getting it built well. And then finally, for guys who want to say, let me move into AdWords now, right? All that comes back down to get trial leads. The fact that we can do a Blitz nationwide run, okay, means that we can see where the general ads are coming up within our price range nationwide and call those areas and find buyers there and just update those pages. We tried doing that before, and we were doing it, but it was hard. It just is hard when you're creating actual hard-coded HTML pages, because then you have to pull them down, adjust them, put them back up, or you have to determine which sets you need to delete so that you can come to your preparatory files and improve upon them. Hopefully you got everything done right, and you generate a new batch of replacement pages and you go check them. They look good. Oh, except you forgot something. Now you have to decide, should I zip them, download them, and improve upon them, or delete them and then make some more improvements here and do another run? I mean, it was hard compared to compared to Blitz. Still dramatically easier than doing this by hand, one page at a time. The fact that you can, think tank how to handle a bunch of pages at once with bulk search and replace beats handling those pages uniquely. I still have people today say, how can you create 2,000 pages? How many people does it take to type? It's like, that's not what's happening anymore. That hasn't been what's happening for years. But Blitz now just means I can adjust 20,000 pages before I go to lunch. Okay. That means no material hard costs for monthly SEO. If by the time we hit $500 we're paying for SEO services, we're taking care of 20, 50, 100 clients at once. That's in any one industry. Okay. So it's totally a different ball of wax now with Blitz. And for all of you guys who convert your websites to Blitz, instant control. Put stuff up, see how Google starts to rank it. Say, okay, these pages are cool. These pages need some work. Figure out what the commonality is. Pull some of those pages down. Make it, you won't even pull them down. You'll just simply make some adjustments to the base pages and upload the new file. And then just go back over the next couple of days and watch them improve and rank. And then say, okay, that's pretty good. What can I do to do more? Add another page down here and re-upload the main file. And then all of a sudden everything starts to climb. Okay? Stupid simple. Okay? Absolutely on top of the game. You're competing better than anyone in the industry. Remember the distressed homes websites? Remember how we showed how many websites they had that were really all by the same company all over the place? Well, they're a big multi-million-dollar enterprise, and tons of money is going into that layering. But they've got guys trying to manhandle SEO, the way we do with Moji, right? What if we can do it with Blitz just suddenly and instantly and easily? Then yeah, we're competing at the top of the game. And that's true for every industry. Any industry where, as long as the industry isn't something we wouldn't be able to touch sensibly, either the programming is too hard on the website, really, functions are crazy. Who knows, they have massive, like Amazon, right? I would not assume that our process is good for Amazon, right? They're just too big. They got too much stuff going on. Netflix, I don't think we could use them as a client because, yeah, I mean, what we have isn't going to be strong enough for them. Anybody else? Well, anyone more normal? Yeah, we can pretty much handle everything they want, and we can compete with most anyone in the game. Most anyone in the game. All the plumber SEO guys, roofer SEO guys, chiropractor SEO guys, you name it. That's what we can handle now. Either compete with them or partner with them. Anything to move everything forward for everyone. All right. There you go. There's your update. All right. I'll get back to work. We'll get done.